these dummies are saying, and the police write it like, yeah, they don't have nothing. They can't prove none of it. They don't even try. They just say, this is what he says. You'll never find on any of this, this is what Reeves said. They said, well, Mr. Reeves, do you belong in this building? Do you have any ID or paperwork, or do you have anything that says that you are here? That you have a right to be here? I had everything, but you don't never find, you can't find one report where they ever asked me anything. Okay, Reeves was contacted exiting the building through the front door. He complied with orders and was taken into custody with guns drawn without incident. At least they put that. They have their guns out, and this is about, I don't know, 12 police cars, and this is the 4th time I'm arrested on our own property. A search incident to arrest revealed missing keys. Then a SWAT team cleared the building, finding no one else. At least they put it as a SWAT team. For what? Trespassing? Do you know how crazy, that's how so beautiful it is. 12 police cars, helicopters, doggone, for what, a trespassing case? Right? And the guy that they arresting for trespassing is the founder of the organization, got the deed to the property with his name, the corporation name, but his name on it as signer. When Mr. Mujahid walked the building with open PD, he noticed several surveillance cameras, and then Mr. Mujahid noted that these travel bags near the front door containing travel bags, and Mukhtar saying, look at what did they say? Does not belong, they belong to the organization, not to Reeves, although I just got there from out of town. It's okay. Can you imagine how, when I read this, how good I feel? And the white lady gonna have all the other stuff, all the other discovery. I'm supposed to get that Tuesday, but I'll get there when I get ready. And imagine all the other stuff I got. And this is before even going anywhere. Property accounting forms. This is what they're saying. Mr. Mujahid noted that there were travel bags near the front door containing documents such as tax forms, property accounting forms belonging to the organization, not to Reeves. The police report noted that the forms did not have Reeves' name on them, although they did. And Mr. Mujahid's name was there. Of course, it's alive, but it's okay. OPD was again dispatching advised that Reeves had a prior 602, the same old case. He threatened not to cooperate next time, is in an ongoing dispute with Masjid al-Islam members, that there was a previous arrest of subject with a gun here before as a result of a dispute that Reeves had to nail the door. Okay, there's no guns except the ones they had. Okay. Upon arrival, OPD contacted Mr. Mujahid, who advised that Reeves is not allowed on the property. After being, if we were Muslims, how would, and there's just an argument, say, how would anybody just say you can't come in the masjid no more? Right? Wow. But this is the stuff that they say. Okay. Now, this is the last one. All that talk, this is, you see right there, IRS. This says IRS. Can you see that right up there?
Yeah, pretty close, yeah.
That's what it says, IRS. And then read Masjid al-Islam Incorporated, care of Clarence Reams, 4603 Benning Road. Right? You can look at it just to make sure that I'm not lying. Yeah. As I say Clarence Reams, they put a wrong extra E in there, but it's all right. That's from the IRS, and that's a legal document. Masjid al-Islam Incorporated, it has a tax number on there, 94 such and such and such. So that means that whatever's going on, Masjid al-Islam Incorporated is handled by Negro Reams. That's okay. Now here's what they say here. Similarly, the November 13th incident should also be excluded. This is why the lawyer, the police, everybody, they want to exclude November the 13th. That's with all the guns and everything. This is the DA want to exclude all of that. They want me to go to trial on November the 17th stuff. First, while the incident has marginal probative value, any probative value will be outweighed by the risk of undue prejudice. The jury may hold against the people, Masjid al-Islam or Mr. Mujahid, the fact that the defendant was removed at gunpoint or as the accused of having weapons but had none. Now, let's think of a black man accusing another man coming from D.C. You see what it said? He came from D.C. with 2 shotguns. Dear people, if you don't know what white police do with niggas that have guns, what kind of Negro would tell a white police system that a Negro just arrived from D.C. with 2 shotguns and the police is happy to believe it because they're the ones telling them to say that dumb stuff? How much skill do you have to manipulate yourself through these people trying to kill you? Do you think that that's what they're trying to do after all of this stuff? Definitely. After each incident is building up. Right. And I can see they building up. That's why I said, okay, now, like right now, when I go to Oakland, I done beat the case, I done do everything. But when I go to that masjid, I'm gonna go to the police department first, probably twice, and I'm gonna tell them, here's the paperwork, here's the case, and I'm gonna stand out there with my microphone. I'm going to that masjid. Here's my name, there's the masjid. I'm gonna do that at least twice. I'm the only one that has the right to administer anything in the name of Masjid al-Islam. I am. And I'm gonna tell the I don't want y'all coming down there playing like you got a tip, because you done got 3 tips and you ain't never found no guns, nobody ain't never had no guns, but your people are saying. Now, I could charge these niggas with trying to set me up, right? They've said this, and it's all on paper. It's on the white folks' paper. Can you imagine what type of snitch they look like? That they done been called your property at the school. You got your son staying up there. The police, they call the police. Mukhtar called the police and say, these drug dealers up there, they have drugs and they have guns. Then he goes up to our apartment up there and opens the door for the police and let them go in to search the place. If they would have found something, which they didn't, clean as a whistle, they could have said, we had probable cause to go in there. We had this caretaker, that's what he called himself at that time, caretaker. Then he boosts it up to, I'm running the whole show. The whole world knows Imam abdul-Alim Musa facing attacks and death threats, right? Crescent. The first articles, Zafar told me that they went viral, whatever that means. I guess that's a lot of people saw it. Right? That's what they say. Let's see what else we got here. Imam Musa assaulted. Now, this is one that's Negroes. What date is this? This is another time. This is about the 5th assault or something. I have to look at the date to tell which. This is October 2015. That's 3 years ago. Let's see, Imam abdul-Alim Musa was assaulted today according to information received from eyewitnesses. Let's see. Assault was not carried out by the Oakland Police Department. It would have been surprising if they had. Then this is Khadijah now. This is one where I was going to add a program and I put canceled out there because, now this one right here. Sabotage, death threats against Imam Musa and grand larceny, Masjid al-Islam accounts. You ain't never heard of a nigga and his wife writing up, the white lady called it a computer-generated thing, no state seal, no government seal, no judge, no nothing signs it. They take that to the bank where Mukhtar had been arrested, so-called, the day before, and the Bank of America had called me, which I'll call the people. I was in the bank one day, the one in East Oakland, and one of the guys, Jorge George, I knew him, so he threw a piece of paper over by me, then he came up to me and said, sister wanted to talk to this African-American sister that was in the back, you know what I mean, the manager. Like, you know when you go in the bank, they have a desk right back there, and then they have the big manager. Okay, she was right in the middle, and Jorge was too. They, you know, they not tell us, but they knew me because I went through. She had called me one time. She said, this guy came in here talking real crazy about he wanted to go on the bank accounts. I said, do I have to do anything? She says, no, you can't do that because you're, but he was talking loud and cussing and talking about he's gonna get an attorney. He talked to the people in the bank. So I have those people, they're not in that bank anymore, but they be easy to find. Anyway, so the bank in Berkeley turned our money from our DC account over to them. Good God Almighty. Assalamu alaikum. I'm on my way. I'll see you in a little while. And please don't call your dear father for a while. I'll see you in a little while. I'm gonna turn my phone off. I'm threatening to turn this phone off. I'm threatening. That's right. I'm serious. Anyway, it has been a while. Okay. Armed intruders. This is when niggas come with guns. They packing heavy. August 22nd. I have one of my sons and a few more guys that said, you just stand, you just watch, you don't touch nothing. So they just folded their arms and watch. Of course, one of my son's little friends, one of the police grabbed one of the police and body slammed him. and his gun fell out. And when his gun fell out, everybody was rushing toward it, and the other police, the other two Arabs, they was in perfect police position. And the one that was leading it is the same one that you said looked like ISIS.
Yeah.
The night before that, this happened on a Friday, the night before that, on a Thursday, I got there Thursday, and I go to the Masjid at Maghrib time, and he pulls up and comes on in, kind of talking a little crazy, him and his partner. I said, no, man, you can't get down in here. Y'all just, that was just, they had just tried to kick the door. Remember they come rushing in before?
Mm-hmm.
I said, you can't come in here. No, this is the house of Allah. I said, you can't come in here. So he's talking crazy, so I move up on him and he backs back systematically, you know, in martial arts moves from side to side. But finally, when I get up on him, he leans forward and reaches back. I said, I told you was a police. You a low-down, dirty bitch police. That's when he went into his state. You know, when they lean forward and they reach back, when he reached back, you can see the bottom of the holster sticking up about 2-3 inches of that holster sticking down. I said, I told you he was a police. And you know, he was. That's what he was. Okay. No. This is, you got to remember, I'm explaining to everybody, I am going to turn my phone off because I'm going to get this stuff out. And dear daughter will. Anyway, now, here's the thing. Y'all know our position, but the public has to know the position. Black nationalism with Islamic roots